All right, shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, want to give all honor and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach Yahushai. And I guess the topic is going to be UFOs in the Bible. And we're going to start off with the book of Psalms, chapter 68, verse 17. It says, "The chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place." So it's saying the Most High, he got 20,000, even thousands of angels. You know, he got an innumerable amount of chariots. And the chariots, if you don't know, those are the so-called UFOs. People, they don't know what they call, so they call them UFOs, which is unidentified flying object, but we call them IFOs because we know what they are. They are identified flying objects because we know that they are the chariots of the Most High. They also can be called clouds in some instances. We're going to go to the book of Exodus, chapter 13. Scroll down to verse 20. It says, "And they took their journey from Sukkoth and encamped in Etham in the edge of the wilderness." So this was our people in the wilderness when they first came out of Egypt. And it says, verse 21, "And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light to go by day and night." Verse 22, he took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. So the Most High, as we was going through the wilderness, he was leading us in a chariot. He had a chariot above the congregation, above the camps of the people, to lead them, as it was, throughout the day, it was a cloud, and at night it was a pillar of fire for the light. We're going to get a precept on that. We're going to go to the book of Nehemiah, chapter 9, verse 11. It says, "And thou didst divide the sea before them, so that they went through the midst of the sea on the dry land, and their persecutors thou threwest into the deeps as a stone in the mighty waters." Talking about how he used Moses to split the Red Sea, and how they walked through it. Verse 12, "Moreover, thou leddest them in the day by a cloudy pillar, and in the night by a pillar of fire, to give them light in the way wherein they should go." So the Most High, he was leading our people all throughout the wilderness, using a chariot. Like I said, during the day, it was a cloud, and then at night it was a pillar of fire. To give them light throughout the night. We're gonna go to go back to Psalms real quick. So UFOs is not aliens inside of the UFOs. If you see one, if you happen to see one, just know it's not no aliens in there. Those are the angels of the Most High, and they doing the Most High's will inside of them. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 104, verse 3. It says, "Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind." So it says he maketh the clouds his chariot. So the chariots, they can basically shapeshift into clouds. If you're looking at it, you might think it's just a regular cloud, but it might be a chariot, because they can shapeshift into different shapes. There's videos that you could watch on YouTube of it was a dot in the sky, and all of a sudden it just became a cloud, So we know that the chariots can shapeshift. It shows us this all throughout the Bible, how they go from clouds, just how we just read, it went from a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, So we go to the chariots. They could also the Most High, he gonna use the chariots for our deliverance. You got certain instances where the Most High used the chariots to beam people up, as we will say. If you get beamed up by a chariot, like if you watch an alien movie, and all of a sudden, like somebody get abducted. So, that's real. That's in the Bible. That actually happens. We gonna go to the book of 2 Kings to prove that. Talking about Elijah. 2 Kings chapter 2 verse 9. Let me see. Do I want to start right here? Yeah. We're gonna start right here. 2 Kings chapter 2 and 9, it says, "And it came to pass, when they were gone over, that Elijah said unto Elisha, Ask what I shall do for thee before I be taken away from thee." So Elijah knew that he was going to be taken by the Most High, that the Most High was coming to get him. And it says, "And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me." Verse 10, "And he said, Thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so." And so verse 11, it says, "And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire," a so-called UFO, "and horses of fire," so other UFOs was around it, "and parted them both asunder, and Elijah went up by whirlwind into heaven." So it said it took Elijah up by whirlwind into heaven. Let's get a example of that. Let me see. So this is how Elijah was taken up. Basically one of these appeared, and basically he got beamed up. Let's get another account of somebody getting taken up by a chariot. We'll go to Genesis and get Enoch's account. Genesis chapter 5, verse 23. It says, "And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with the Most High, and he was not, for the Most High took him." So how did the Most High take him? The same way he took Elijah. Elijah was a prophet, and so was Enoch. And when they say Enoch walked with the Most High, meaning Enoch was righteous. He kept the law, statutes, and commandments. He did whatever so the Most High commanded of him. So the Most High saw it fit that he take him from being on earth to come and dwell with him in the spirit world. Let's get another account of somebody getting taken up by a chariot. This is the book of Acts, chapter 1. I'm going to start at 9. It says, "And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight." So let's talk about Yahushai. When he was basically giving the instructions to the apostles before he was taken up. It says, I'm gonna read verse 9 again. It says, and when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and the cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, "Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushai, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven." So when they saw Yahushai get taken up by a chariot, they was amazed. They were standing there idle. They were just standing there in astonishment. And so it was two angels. It was 2 angels there as well, and they said, "Why y'all just looking up, staring into heaven?" He said, Yahushua is gonna come back that same way. The same way he got taken up is the same way he gonna come back. Let's go ahead and get a precept on that, on how he go come back. Go slide to the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 7. It says, "Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. So Yahweh Shai, when he come back, when he makes his return to get vengeance on the heathen and to rescue the elect of his nation, the nation of Israel, it say he gonna come back with clouds. Just like it said in Acts, when how he left in the cloud, he coming back with clouds, and we know the clouds are the so-called chariots, the UFOs. Let's go right here to show that he coming to save the elect using the UFOs. You'll go to the book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 26. It says, "And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great glory. With great power and glory." So just like we read, we gonna see him coming in the clouds with great power and glory, and we know the clouds are the UFOs. Verse 27, "And then shall he send his angels, and shall gather together his elect from the four winds of heaven, from the uttermost part of the earth to the uttermost part of heaven." So the angels, they gonna be in UFOs as well, and he gonna give them charge to go and gather up the elect. The elect are the people that the Most High see as righteous, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and the faith in Yahweh Shai and the word of prophecy. He gonna get an angel's charge to rescue them, beam them up in the chariots, and drop them off in the wilderness, for to receive salvation. Let's get an account. We'll go to the Apocrypha to describe it. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. This talk about somebody that's of the elect. This is how it's going to be for them. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him." Because before the elect get saved, they going to be getting afflicted. Martial law going to be going on. A lot of people going to be in camps, getting tortured, tormented, getting put to death just for being servants of just for keeping the commandments and being a servant of the Most High. So it says, verse 1, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it," so it say he gonna stand in great boldness when them chariots come, cause he know that he finna get saved. That's his salvation. Verse 2, "When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear." When the people that been afflicted him see it, they gonna be troubled because they don't know what's going on. But he know what's going on because he pay attention to the word. And he understand the word of the Lord and the prophecy. It says, "When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for." So they're gonna be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. And what's the strangeness? Him getting saved by a chariot, by a so-called UFO. UFOs coming out of nowhere and just saving these people that was getting afflicted. UFOs coming out of the sky and start beaming up Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And everybody else just gonna be looking astonished because they took for granted the people of the Most High. They treated us like garbage the whole time we was here, and been afflicting us and putting us to death. And now the chariots is coming to save us and also put to death those that was afflicting us. Let me get one last precept on this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and close out. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 66, and verse 15. It says, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots," the so-called UFOs, "like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many." So when the Lord come, he gonna be putting people to death with the so-called chariots, shooting beams out of them, laser beams, anything, shooting fire out of them, burning up Esau and the other nations, the other heathen nations, and also using them to save and gather his elect, the people that he see fit as righteous, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. And the Most High, the so-called white man and his technology, ain't no technology on earth that could compete with the technology of the Most High, And we just go get a video on that real quick. Cause they got a video of so-called Arabs shooting at a UFO, and they couldn't even touch it. The white dot in the sky, and they trying to shoot at it. And look, they just missing it. So there you have it. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign out and bid Israel a hearty shalom. Lord willing, somebody was edified. Shalom.